Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mention It All podcast. I am so thrilled to be joined today by one of our iconic Miami OGs, back for another season, Marysol Patton. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. How are we feeling season 7? It's off to a great start.
It's off to a really crazy, awesome start, right? It's so action-packed.
I know. You mentioned you guys had a little bit of a break before filming this season.
Yeah.
And watching the season premiere, I'm like, oh, when you take a few months off with this group, you miss a lot of story. And so we're really catching up with everything that's happened.
Yeah. There's always so much story. So, my God, especially with Alexia. Every day is a new day. I wake up every day, my phone's ringing. I turn on, I'm like, oh, what's it gonna be today? Oh God.
I see sometimes like people will make like memes and jokes and things online about how like nobody goes through more on reality TV than Alexia. Like every storyline that can happen, it's all just like
it happens to her. Trust me, she's not looking for it.
I know.
I feel bad.
I know. For you, you've been doing the show for such a long time. Now it's been a few seasons since you all came back. For you, when you come into a new season, do you kind of approach it differently every year, or do you kind of feel like it's just like, whatever, it's the cameras are back, we'll see what happens?
I'm just going with the flow, you know? I'm the friend. And so I'm just hanging with my friends, and if they need me, I'm there, and if I need to be a referee, I'm a referee.
I feel like Miami has established this like really interesting dynamic though with the friends in the last few seasons. You don't feel it watching the show, you know, even, you know, Kiki has become so much more a part of the show in the last couple seasons. You and Adriana, it's like you're the OGs. Like, I think it benefits the whole show that it really feels like everybody kind of is just showing up all the time.
Yeah. It's a good mix.
I'm wondering, like, in that time frame last spring, summer, we see a little, you guys filmed a little bit like after Alexia's divorce had come out publicly. But over the summer, like, were there times where you were kind of like, this would be pretty good. Are
you kidding me?
Where are the cameras?
All the time. Even now, since we wrapped before it's aired, a bunch of stuff's happening. I'm like, where are the cameras? They're always missing the good stuff.
I think as fans, like, I remember when like Larsa and Marcus.
Yeah.
Every day it was a new update. You know. Larcus. Some might say there was a fake breakup. You never know. But like, it was like, okay, like, and we need Andy and a camera. Like, where's the camera?
Yeah, I know.
So when you guys started in like September, like in the fall, when you really came back for filming, what was it like kind of having everybody back together, knowing that so much had gone down since the last season?
I mean, for me, at that moment, I was just mostly focused on Alexia because I was worried about her, and things were like pretty bad, and then they were okay, and then they got really bad again. And, you know, and I was getting remarried, like, you know, in the state of Florida. So those were the things that were on my mind when we first started.
Yeah, I like seeing in the second episode you talk a little bit more about your remarriage with Steve. What was that? What kind of went into that decision, and how did you, you know, deciding to talk about that on the show? I thought it was nice to see a little bit more into your relationship like that.
So we were married in Mexico, and then we were married in Scotland, or, you know, remarried, but we were never legally married in Florida. I think what went into that decision was, you know, we were in a place of, we're older. I don't have any children. I went through a lot with my parents. I was their health surrogate along with my brother. And I said, you know, I don't have anyone to take care of me. I need you to be able to, you know, access my estate, make health decisions for me, and vice versa. And he goes, oh, no, my son's going to do that. I'm like, guys, don't do that stuff. It's always the daughters. The daughters, and you don't have any daughters, and I have nobody. So it's going to be me and you, honey. I'm telling you that. Yeah. And I was like, you know, we're already married. Let's just do this so we can, you know. It was more of like for the future.
Yeah.
To prepare for the future.
I think especially it's like, you know, you've been through tough situations in your life. Everybody, I mean, we look at the cast of this show and there are so many different things that can happen and, you know, unexpected circumstances in people's lives. It makes sense to, you know, protect yourself and have that security.
Be prepared. I'm always preparing. I'm super prepared for everything.
Yeah, I think, you know, seeing what Alexia is going through this season, I thought it was really, you know, you in the episode talking with Steve, not wanting to feel like you're almost like bragging or gloating about this wedding that's happening. It's complicated when you have such this deep and layered friendship with Alexia.
I let her know that we were doing it, but I didn't like talk about it. I didn't make, you know, details about it because I thought she doesn't want to hear that. And quite frankly, we're already married anyway. So, you know, and that would be very insensitive.
How do you kind of, obviously you've been on the show with Alexia for a long time. So you're used to, in a way, kind of balancing your real long-term friendship with whatever dynamics happen on the show. But when she is going through such a tough situation like that, how do you kind of decide like, okay, I need to kind of give this tough love. I need to be honest about my feelings about this. How do you kind of figure out how to handle that?
Well, we talk every day and a lot. And so we have very good communication. And I think that's why we've, you know, grown together so much over such a long time in this. You know, we used to be friends through society and charity. Then we were friends and worked together because she had a magazine, I had a PR firm. You know, then we did a reality show together. Then we get close and, you know, she loses her husband, she loses her mother, I lose my parents, she gets remarried, I get remarried. We've been through a lot together, but we've always communicated very well and been very honest with each other. So, you know, I think that's, you know, the secret to, you know, the longevity of our friendship and to be able to do a show like this and still stay friends. Yeah.
And I think also like people can sense that when you have a friendship that goes deeper than just like, oh, we're like an alliance on a show, or if she needs help, I'll fight her battle or whatever. It's like, no, it really is that kind of day to day, like,
it's day to day.
Whatever is needed almost.
And sometimes 10 times a day. I think I talk to Alexia a lot more than I talk to my husband. Actually, I probably do.
I loved seeing the dinner that Johnny came in town for.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes you just need the gays to give some tough love at dinner.
Yeah.
And I feel like that dinner felt like you were able to almost like unlock some stuff that Alexia needed to kind of let out.
I was like, thank God everybody's with me on this. Let's go. Don't do it. Don't go back. You know, it was all everybody together in there.
Yeah.
You know, just giving the same message, not just me.
Yeah, because it's hard when obviously like she's so conflicted because she has these deep feelings and, you know, she is still in love with this person and whatever, but then being able to sort of hear and see and process all of the reasons why it's not a healthy dynamic.
She needed to hear it from an angry mob. Right? It's that angry mob syndrome. Like 3 people are mad and then 10 people are mad and then everyone's mad and
And people who have experienced her, you know, before, during, after. I like you were saying how like you were starting to see the Alexia from before she was with Todd and for the the years in between, she had been stressed. She had been, you know, in this place that she wasn't able to.
You saw it on the show and people thought she was mean and harsh and I was like, you just don't even know what's going on behind the scenes.
On the premiere episode, when Alexia's first kind of going through the initial stages of this, Adriana's energy is a little bit of the I told you so.
Did you expect anything else?
I mean, no. You've known Adriana a long time, and I feel like I
don't really know her at all, quite frankly. I'll tell you one thing. She's predictably predictable.
Yes, that's kind of what I mean. That it's like, with Adriana, it's like, I mean, she's very entertaining to watch on TV, but that as you have real friends, you have real relationships, and I think it feels like you maybe got to a place a couple seasons ago, a couple years ago, where it's like, I know what's over there and I don't need it.
No. Why would I put my hand in the fire? No.
I'm wondering you, Dr. Nicole stepped away before this season of the show. You guys have had some complicated ups and downs in your relationship, I would say. What was your thought on her not coming back, and did you miss her at all maybe during the season?
That's a shady question.
I don't think it's shady.
You're being shady. Is that why this place is called Betches?
I miss Dr. Nicole. Okay, maybe not miss her, but miss is a complicated word. She brought a certain thing to the group. Did you feel like the group kind of had to regroup around that at all? Did you feel her absence? What was
shady?
I don't think so. You've had a very consistent cast for the last few seasons, and she's the first person in this, reboot era to leave the show. So I think it's...
Well, I mean, she had her reasons, and she needed to take care of her personal self, and then that's okay.
Yeah. And we have a new housewife on the show this season who we haven't met yet on the show. But what's your kind of read on what Steph brings to the group?
I think Steph is a really good housewife.
Okay.
She stepped right in. And I was like, oh, she's like knows what she's doing from day one. It was very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's making me excited because I feel like the Miami can be a little bit of a tough group to crack. There's not a lot of new people coming in. There's not a lot of fresh faces. And I think...
She cracked it wide open.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It was good. It was a very good addition.
Okay. I think with your group, it's like there's a lot of shifts between seasons. Like this year, Gertie and Julia are having some tough communication.
Yeah.
Did you see on social media where Gertie shared the text message with Julia and then Julia kind of addressed that?
I know that happened, but I didn't read any of it. It's just like too teeny.
Yeah.
It's like this big. And I'm like, I can't see that.
That's why I have the iPad.
And even if I stretched it, I was like, I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like, I don't want to know.
Well, that's it. You've been around this game a long time, and it's like Marysol doesn't really post text messages on
Are
Instagram.
You crazy? I would never do that. I don't even. There's so many things I could say, and I don't say them at the reunion to people who are torturing me. I keep a lot of naughty secrets to myself because I'm not mean. I'm just not that mean.
Yeah. Julia she posted on her Instagram story that this season she kind of brought a different energy because she was going through behind the scenes this legal process with her adoption and that people didn't necessarily know she was going through that. Were you able to kind of like feel or sense that her energy was different this year?
This was the first year that I really got to spend time with her and hang out with her. So it was all new. And before that, she had been kind of like not wanting to be very friendly with me. And I know she told me like Adriana had coerced her and said to stay away from me and stay away from Alexia. So, but she actually just kind of naturally gravitated to us, and she's very lovely. And, she was a lot of things she couldn't talk about when she adopted the children. It was like, legally she couldn't really talk about it. So she wasn't able to express everything that was going on or else it would put the adoption in jeopardy.
Yeah. It's complicated when you have those layers of like, okay, there's something that's like, I can't talk about it. And also like, I wouldn't want to like use it in an argument or some housewife dynamic or whatever. But then at the same time, it's like, if the viewers are like, oh, well, she's acting different. It's like, there are like all these different
You just don't know what all the backstories are and what's really going on. And like I said, legally, she wasn't able to really like discuss it or, bring the boys on.
Yeah. Adriana said in the premiere that she feels like she's drifted away kind of from Julia as Julia's built more of a relationship with you and Alexia.
Listen, Alexia can be friends with whoever she wants. She talks to Larsa, hangs out with Julia all the time, hangs out with Kiki. I don't care. I'd be friends with whoever you want. Adriana doesn't want anybody to be friends with anybody. And that's not, it's a friend group. We're all friends. I've never even talked to Julie about Adriana. If she wants to talk about her, she can, and I'll listen. But I don't bring it up. I don't think about it. I don't care.
It feels like it comes from an insecurity place, maybe, that it's like, if you feel secure in your place in the group, then it doesn't really matter whether two people are, texting about something. You're busy living your life. You don't have to overthink that.
It doesn't matter to me. You want to be my friend, you don't want to be my friend, and Alexia can be friends with everybody. It doesn't bother me. I like when my friends are friends. And I like to hang out with all my friends together. I don't like to isolate. It's not fun.
Yeah, the situation with Larsa and Lisa at the beginning of this season here, it feels like it is so serious between them, and I can't quite put my finger on why. What are you kind of...
They're both so offended with each other.
Right.
And they're neither of them are backing down. Mm-hmm. But I backed myself out of it. I was like, okay, I agree with this, I agree with that you said, and I don't agree with that, and I don't agree with that with you. They both made excellent points and sometimes not such great points. And I tried to reason in between, and so did Alexia. And then at some point I was just like, you guys are going to have to figure it out. I don't want to be in the middle of it anymore.
Yeah. And I think it's tough when there's two people who have been really close in the past, and it's like, it's not, I'm not going to get in there.
If you were really, really that close, it wouldn't have escalated to this point. Because I know that I would never speak to Alexia like that. And I would never, throw her out of my home or send her, nasty messages. 'Cause we just communicate a lot. And we have our own therapy sessions every day on the phone. We keep each other calm.
What was your kind of POV on when Larsa and Marcus were, when Larsa was going through her breakup, let's say, like, what was kind of your window into that? Did you know what was going on with them, or was it kind of just like, I'll find out later?
No, I didn't know what was going on.
It seems like it was messy.
She was keeping it here, close to her chest.
Yeah.
It was public, so I guess she wanted to figure it out on her own and then let us know afterwards or see where it landed. I don't know, but I didn't know about it.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting in the first episode to hear her say that even her kids were kind of like, okay, like, you need to get off this ride, like, at a certain point. And I think, like, it kind of goes with Todd and Alexia too, that it's like, at a certain point, sometimes you need to just kind of like take a step back and
jump off,
focus on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Words to live by.
Words to live by. Also, I mean, you with dropping some wisdom, sometimes what's good for the whole isn't good for the soul.
That's true, right?
Where do you come up with this stuff, Marysol?
Listen, I can't tell you where it all comes from. Maybe I read it somewhere. I don't know. Sometimes it just, stuff comes out. I don't know. I say silly things.
You need that like cross-stitched on a pillow.
I know. Everybody wants me to make merch. I'm like, listen, people, there's no money in merch. People are DMing me, make hats, make shirts. I'm like, I'm giving you a blessing. Go make hats and shirts. I'm not making hats and shirts.
You'll see at BravoCon somebody wearing the shirt and you'll say, great to see it.
If you're gonna make the merch, at least say by Marysol Patton, please.
Just tag her on Instagram.
At Miami Housewives, episode 9 p.m. EST on Wednesday.
Yes, stream the show on Peacock. While you're wearing the merch that you made yourself.
Yeah.
I love that. No, I think the Larsa and Lisa then getting sort of stuck on the trip to Italy together just felt like the icing on the cake after that.
That was
so
funny
episode.
When Lisa gets in the car and she's like, hi, this is awkward.
They're sitting in this van like knee to knee.
Knee to knee. And Jody's like, hey.
What are your thoughts? I know, like, Lisa obviously has been through it the last few years with everything with Lenny. She's really like found a lot of, support and comfort in her relationship with Jody. What are your kind of thoughts about how Jody affects Lisa and the way she like moves through situations?
I've said this a lot. I feel like Jody's been good for her. He came into her life in a very difficult time. He's brought her peace. He's brought her calm. I feel like she's a little more centered, a little more focused. You know, when you talk to her, she's more engaging, and she's not kind of all over the doing monkey stuff, you know, floating. You know what I mean?
I'm so happy for her that it feels like she finally is like. I know the stuff with Lenny. I'm sure there's still loose ends to tie up, but there was a period of time where it was just so heavy on her.
Yeah.
And I remember even one time she was here, and it was like. Page 6 was, you know, there was a thing happening, and she was having to respond to something. Lenny was, you know, it's just like, it feels like now she's able to kind of just
she's grounded,
move forward a little bit.
Yeah. I think he brings her a calm and consideration that she didn't have in her last relationship. So I think he's been good for her.
Yeah. And I think with Lisa, like I think there's a natural instinct sometimes like fans or viewers will have where they're like, oh, she had one guy and now she's with another guy and she should just be alone. She should just focus on herself. And
Yeah,
it's
I saw that.
I mean, everybody needs something different.
You just never know.
Yeah.
Like the right guy came along.
Right.
So why let that go?
Yeah. I think sometimes Housewives fans just believe that every guy kind of sucks. And so it's like, end that. Dump him. Divorce him. And it's like, I don't know. There's some good ones out there.
There are.
You never know.
There are.
You and Steve, I think, are probably the most. I don't know. I guess Russell and Gertie give you a run for your money, but there's some good couples on Miami.
Yeah, and Martina. Who doesn't love Martina? She's calm.
They got chickens and goats and.
Yeah, she lets Julia do whatever she wants, have 50 million animals, adopt children. You know, the whole house is like full of animals and playpens, and there's a farm, and there's chickens in the backyard of their waterfront home. You know, it's crazy, but, you know, she loves her and lets her do it. Just like Steve lets me, I say stupid things on this show, and I look at him and I'm like, and he doesn't say a word. He just keeps staring. He doesn't say a word. He's so supportive. He never gets mad at me.
Do you watch the episodes together?
Yeah. Like I usually watch it and then then he watches it later.
Okay. But he watches the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he like talking to you while he watches it? I'm so curious. Like, cause he's not really involved the way that some husbands kind of are like on the show.
Right. No. He's not, you know, he's really cool. He's very witty. He's very funny. I don't know. He'll make little funny slide remarks when we're watching, and I'm always like, "Why are you thinking what I'm thinking?" It's like he reads my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you need in a partner when you're on a show like this.
Yeah. He's like, he tells everyone, "Listen, it's not really my favorite thing to do, but I do it to support Marysol."
Mm-hmm. I like that. We need support.
Yeah.
Good support. This season, we've got a lot left to go.
I know.
I know you guys went to Spain. I can't wait to see that.
It's a doozy.
I know you guys went on a little cruise.
Sure did.
I'm curious how that went.
That was actually quite lovely.
Quite lovely.
Yes.
Okay. I'm excited to see it. That was right after Bravo Fan Fest in Miami. You went straight out on that ship. And
right. So... The best boot camp I ever had was doing Ultimate Girls Trip.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you go on a cast trip, it's like that. It's morning, noon, and night, morning, noon, and night, morning, noon, and night. You got to be on. You have to be ready. You film the whole time. There's no sleep.
That was a fun season of Ultimate Girls Trip that you got to do in Thailand. I think it's a little underrated.
Yeah. Oh, well, you do.
It was a good time. Do you keep up with any of those ladies?
Yeah, like Heather, I text her every once in a while, but Heather's like not a good communicator, so I have to insult her on the text. I'll be like, hey, slutty hooker, motherfucker, or whatever, sorry. and then she answers. She'll be like, hey, slut.
You rang?
Yeah. If I don't insult her, she doesn't answer.
That's like a good love language, though, I think.
It is. It's her love language.
Yeah.
You got to come in with a strong insult.
I like that. Okay, anything for this season that you're most excited to see, or maybe that you're least excited to relive?
I don't want to tell you what the things are I'm excited about.
Okay, but you're excited. You're glowing right now. You're so excited.
A couple of things. Okay. I'm curious to see what our little wedding excursion looks like.
Me too. See, that's fun. That'll be cute.
Yeah, it should be. It's just me and the boobie.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks, Marysol.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe. And until next time, be cool. Don't be all like uncool.
Yeah. Go Lou.